All right, back with another C1x Updates video. This one's going to be extra short, but we're going to make some progress here. So the last time, in the last video, I believe the thing that we finished was largely the shot logging, and that was getting the undo button working, getting the skip button working, with our deep stats. My next section was just a bunch of extra random changes, and I went off video and already did most of them. So we're just going to run through what they are, and I can check them off as I cover them here. Put logging widget. So we started to change the appearance of that. I did make some additional changes. I'll show you what that looks like here. This is what it looks like right now. It's not great, but it is better than what I had previously. I like the white disc. I would love for it to look a little more 3D. I think that ultimately I might end up having to make my own graphic to import it, and that's just not something I wanted to commit a lot of time to right now. Not something that's like crucial for getting this test version ready. So we're gonna put that one in the memory bank, but putting widget it looks a little bit nicer, and then also the drag feature is improved substantially. So now if I click the disk and drag sideways, it doesn't drag the page, it only drags the disk. It's got a decently sized hitbox to make sure that the user can grab it, but obviously if you put it in the basket and then swipe anywhere near the bottom, you're going to be able to get to the next page pretty easily. So I improved that. I improved the gesture of that. And then another thing that came up is I realized for one, and I'm still kind of tracking it down here loosely, but this produces XY values depending on where I drag the disk. I realized that those XY values, weren't centered at all. Not at all, because we spent a little time on this previously. They weren't centered as well as they needed to be. There were some weird barriers that were happening with certain X values horizontally. The Y values weren't quite matching up. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I ended up, in the process of improving the appearance and drag of this, ended up reworking all of the X and Y values again. Both for just what the output is based on where I drag the disk, and then also reworking what the visual is up top here. But yeah, so I had to rework this stuff as well to get it where I wanted it to be, but it is. This was I was scoring a test round just so I could. I also had to rework the X and Y axis on this misdistribution. That was something I hadn't considered previously when I was originally improving the XY values, but the way they were shown on this wasn't working either. So I basically had to build this one from scratch again. This ended up taking a lot of time. That's why I'm talking about it a lot. But yeah, XY values are good now. Where I drag the disk during the round is what shows up here, which is great. So we did that. Next thing, I added putting as a shot type to my legend down here. So we now have a P for putting, and putting is all the gray shots right now. They were already gray to begin with. I just didn't have it in the legend. So we added that. Making the icons and graphics bigger, that was just kind of a general note to myself. I went through, made a couple minor tweaks, but for the most part, at least for the graphics that I'd already spent time working on, I got the icons and text about as big as I wanted them to be, so that was minimal. On the deep stats view, if you remember in the last video, we've got data up here. I already took time in a previous video to hide these guys. I wanted to hide the date as well because I thought it looked a little tacky, so now we swipe, date goes away. So we hid the date there. We have a more unique title now. I was messing around with like a gradient across the text, but I didn't think that looked clean enough. So we're going to roll with this for now, at least more of a unique title, and we've got the little subheaders down here. So I think that's a little bit better. I did put it on my to-do list. I haven't done anything yet, but now I've got all this empty space up in the toolbar. It'd be nice to put a little something extra. Eventually, I'd like to incorporate a share feature for the deep stats. What that would end up looking like, I'm not sure, but And then the rest of the changes I made were on the toggle here. So previously I had this icon next to deep stats enabled. What I noticed is that, well, it looks nice on bigger phone screens, but for even phone screens that are slightly smaller, like I have an iPhone XR that I was looking at it on, which is not, it's not like an SE, it's not a super small screen, but it still didn't fit with the icon. So I wanted to take the icons off of the sliding bar altogether. So I put one on either side. I thought that looked nicer. Moved it outside of the text. And then I also spent some time reworking the appearance of this a little bit. Previously I had the label and the toggle next to each other. Same issue on smaller phones. That didn't look as good. So I wanted to put text above toggle, make sure there's plenty of room horizontally, make sure everything is centered. Just to try to minimize as much as I can the potential for C1x to look substantially worse on someone else's phone as opposed to what I see on the simulator. So, yeah. So we did that. The only thing that I have left, which I did already start to work on slightly, in the regular round view, if you go down and touch on certain graphics, you get a little description of what it is. And I want to do the same thing for deep stats. So I already had most of the structure in place already, just because I largely used the same code that I used for the main C1x round view. So the bulk of what I need to do here is fill these out. Titles are already filled out, just write the explanations and then add them down here. So explanation and explanation title are two arguments that I can pass. Once I pass them, then they should show up once clicked. So shot types. And then this is the last thing on my extra changes to do. Do I want to like call it deep stats? I don't think so. That seems a little, like say deep stats on different shot types feels a little like pitchy. Usage, fairway hit, and scoring stats for every shot type you threw during the round. And I do want to, we're going to set these up like this just because I'm going to need multiple. Also shown is your average execution grade, stars, and scoring percentages. This also shows your average execution grade and scoring percentages. Shot type. Do I show anything else on there? Execution grade, scoring percentages, and best and worst distance for each shot type. Okay. We're going to copy this structure just to make it a little easier. All right, release angles. Similar, usage, scoring, percentages. We've got and average execution grade for each release angle thrown during the round. And then on the next line, I'm showing misses too, aren't I? The center of each ring shows your fairway hit percentage on that angle and what your common miss was below it. What your most common miss was below it. Do I need miss legends? I do have the issue here of I'm not using the same icons, and I need to be doing that. So let's make sure on flight path graphic what my icon is for release angle is rotate left, and then we're going to go to my release angle graphic, and I need to make sure this is the same. So trying to change this one here. We are moving a little slow at the moment. There we go. All right. And it is on my to-do list to reorder these. So maybe we'll do a C legend on round timeline for what each miss symbol correlates to. Okay, flight paths. Oh, I copied the icon last. Release angles explanation. We'll start with 2 and we can adjust. All right, flight paths. Same thing. Largely usage, scoring percentages. I should probably say the same thing. Percentages. Usage, scoring percentages. Fairway hit. Fairway hit percentage. Most common miss and average execution grade for each flight path shown during the round. Yeah. And then I'll add a note on this one too. I'm not going to add it for everyone, but scoring colors are the same colors used on your main round scorecard. Birdie is teal, par is gray, etc. Yeah, all right. And we've got round timeline here. All right. This graphic shows the landing area, shot type, landing area. Trying to go top to bottom here. Distance, shot type, landing area. You missed. Where you missed. And flight path for every shot thrown during the round. putts and putt accuracy are shown in gray boxes. We'll call them cards. And your score on the hole is shown at the bottom. One thing that I still haven't tested yet is just what this starts looking like when I have more than 6 holes. So I will need to dig into that. My hope is that it's, and I think it should be, but that it's still just a consistent row. So we got straight across, hole, par, shot chip, and then hopefully the same thing here. Fingers crossed. If you made the putt, a basket is shown. Guys, I put it on the wrong one. That was silly of me. It's all right, easy copy paste here. All right. Misdistribution. Graphic on the left shows your most common miss patterns for all throws in a round. It is a heat map for all putts. All right, and then what else do I need to say about this? We're showing what the misses are. We got short, long, disc choice. The number next to each miss is how many times you made that mistake during the round. The mistake during the round. And then we're going to do one more here. We're going to say use the buttons below the basket to toggle C1 and C2 makes and misses. Display. On the display. Yeah. Good enough explanation here. I can probably still give an explanation to these without having the aesthetics part done yet. Shot quality. This graphic shows your best and worst types of shots thrown during the round. Include shot types, flight paths, and distances if entered while scoring. Okay. And then we'll just add the little note here that the summary on the bottom is intended to provide guidance on where you can improve your game. Maybe not that broad on which shot types if improved, would most help your scoring. Yeah, that's fair. Because that's kind of the way I'm judging him is, did they help you score? Did they hurt your scoring? All All right, and then deep stat grade explanation. All right. Like the C1x round grade on the first page, this graphic gives you a performance rating for this round that is focused more on consistency quality as opposed to general stats. Those mean you threw goods consistently, putted, and hit putts in the center of the stick. Those scores can mean you were inconsistent off tee, missed putts wildly, wildly is not, missed putts, consistent side of the basket, to get to ace. Smooth wave for consistent play throughout. Consistency is the biggest driver of improved time. Not even the biggest driver. Consistency is the heart of, I will say, key to. I don't know what these suggestions are, but I kind of hate them and I need them to stop. What's your problem? All right, can we calm down now? Pretty sure there's not an error. What's the error? I don't like this one either. They're the same thing. I don't know what we're talking about. Just the commas? Do I have more periods or what's the heck is the issue? Same way as this one is. Right? Are they not? Okay, yeah, it was just frozen. It's like that's, I don't think the issue is with me here. All right, and then the last thing we need to do is this. paths, missed patterns, shot quality, and deep grade. We don't have those graphics right now. So we'll do a refresh, and then hopefully I can just click on those guys, and it's going to pop up. Right? Sick. Alright, let's do a little spell check here. Usage, fairway hit, and scoring. Percentages for every shot type you threw during the round. I gotta read it slowly so I don't miss something. This also shows your average execution grade, star scoring percentages, and best and worst distance. Looks good. Usage 1%. Shows your fairway hit percentage on that angle and what your most common miss was below it. See legend on the round timeline for what each miss symbol correlates to. Usage, 20 percentages for hit percentage, most common miss and average execution grade for each flight path thrown during the round. Scoring colors are the same colors used on your main round scorecard. Cars gray, etc. Round timeline is not showing. You know why? Because it's not there. Will it work now? Computer is being a little slow for me here. Not quite. Let's hit the refresh. I never added the arguments for it, but now they're there. All right, round timeline. Make sure I can just click anywhere. It is specific to the, you have to hit one of the items. That's okay. Not overly important right now. This graphic shows the distance, shot type, landing area, where you missed, and flight path for every shot thrown during the round. The number next to each miss. I flipped these too. Oh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. All right, reset. Keep flipping the where I'm trying to write the explanations to. Jeez, come on, computer. Get it together. Alright, round timeline. This graphic shows the distance, shot time, landing area, what do you miss? Putts and putt accuracy are shown in gray cards, and your scoring level is shown at the bottom. If you made the putt, basket is shown. Yep. And this is still that one error that's been fixed, just not on this. Cool. Graphic on the left shows your most common miss patterns for all throws in the round. In A round, let's make that in B round. From the round. The right graphic is a heat map for all putts. The number next to each miss is how many times you made that mistake during the round. Use the buttons below the basket to toggle C1 and C2 makes and misses on the display. Okay. This graphic shows your best and worst types of shots thrown during the round. It will include shot types, flight paths, and distances if entered while scoring. Summary on the bottom is intended to provide guidance on which shot types, if you improve at them, would most help your scoring. Maybe most improve. Or no, we already used improve. helping and hurting your scoring. Your ability to score. All right. And we got our wave. Like the C1x round grade on the first page, this graphic gives you a performance rating for the round. Let's just say performance rating for the round, but is focused more on consistent shot quality as opposed to general stats. Is focused on consistent shot quality instead of we'll just say instead of common stats. High scores mean you threw good shots consistently and hit putts in the center of the basket. Low scores can mean you were inconsistent off the tee, missed putts on multiple sides of the basket, or both. The goal is to get a nice, smooth wave for consistent play throughout the round. Consistency is key to good scoring for your skill level. Nope. Consistency is key to good scoring. Yeah. Okay. I like it. Now we have explanations, which means that I am done with my first extra changes section. So we get to do the cross off. I don't know why I feel the need to show me crossing it off to the camera, but it is slightly satisfying here. Here's what all of the crossing off so far in recent videos. Still going. And now we're on to graphics again. And these are the last two big ones. I've got notes on aesthetic improvements for these two graphics, and then I've got one more just list of extra stuff throughout the app. And the hope is to get those in there and get this thing out to testing. I start traveling in 4 days. So surely we can get this done. We are going to have to start. I'm going to have to. I'm going to choose to. Start using AI for this stuff. I have switched to using Claude as opposed to ChatGPT. It is, at least comparing the two free versions, just web-based code helping. Claude is orders of magnitude better than ChatGPT, at least for what I'm asking it to do. And it's not, like, it's really not close. Composite shop little graphic. I haven't tried to give it 500 lines of code yet, so we can see if that's an improvement. And it does seem like same thing with ChatGPT, but keeping it to like one prompt at a time and then doing a new chat seems to work better. If I continue the same chat for a long time, it just loses itself. All right, so here we're going to say the below code produces a shot widget for a graphic I've produced in my disc golf app. I need you to make a very specific set of changes and leave else as is. Outline the outside and inside of the ring, and also provide outlines around each individual segment of the ring. These should all be black and have the same thickness. 2. Update the anything else as is, then provide an updated version of the entire file. Update the code to always show the 3 good segments at the top, circle, and the 2 bad segments at the bottom 2 fist. If only one of each is shown, then green is top. We'll say good. Good is top half. Bad is bottom half. I had the idea of putting the focus for improvement in the center. All right, let's give it one more here. Anytime a plus is being shown in front of a distance bucket, change that to a from. All right. That seems like a good start. Let's see what it can do with this. We'll see how close we get here. It is, especially going through Claude, this is typically pretty effective, but I'm definitely enjoying coding more when I'm just repping the stuff out myself. It is, though, it's just, although I don't quite enjoy it as much for stuff that isn't like I know how I want it to look already. I don't need to figure it out while coding. And it may not be quite as much fun, but the AI is way faster, and it is still as much fun when I get to see the finished product at the end and then make my own little minor tweaks. Yeah. Did we do it? I think we did it. All right. It's nice getting it to update the whole file for me too, because then I can just copy paste it, and if it's terrible, just hit undo once and back out of all of it. If that was the change, it didn't look like it quite got everything that I needed it to. Replace all 350 to 400 feet from. I tried to, but it's not actually doing it. 350 to 400 is shown, but you can just ask it in the code you provided. I'm still getting a plus in front of distances, and my 3 good segments, green, are shown mostly on the right side of the circle instead of the top. First good segment centers over the top of the circle, but the other 2 good segments to the right, or 2 segments clockwise of it, rotate around the right side and to the bottom of the circle. Ideas why. Maybe some rotation thing that I didn't quite understand. Oh. Yes. I didn't realize we were only doing it for the summary. Did it update both? It seems to think that it updated both. Let's try it. Sick. We're still not getting the from though. Good is at the top though, which is awesome. Labels on the wheel. All right, where are the labels on the wheel coming from here? We got build combo, shot wheel graphic, wrap, replace top pairs, summary, assessment, sized box, wheel painter. Where's wheel painter at? Score shot, wheel painter, text painter, text alignment, ring, segment, display label, combo label. Let's see if this helps me at least make some sense of what I'm looking at. Pluses are so small. Is it? It might be showing dots here. Where's combo label? Was that getting passed in? No. Probably gonna get some overflow errors here, but they are dots. Okay. The wheel is actually using dots instead of update the below accordingly so I can drop it in. I don't know how to make dots on my keyboard. It's not quite what I wanted, but there we go. Now I am getting the it is hurting my ability to read the text, but I guess I still have the dots, which isn't helping. Does that help more? No, not really. If I do the ampersand symbol, just as much space as I can save, the better. Yeah. All right. It's a good step in the right direction. Where are those borders coming from? Wheel painter, ring paint. We can update those colors later. Stroke width, outline width. So I set it up here to, let's go 6. Too much probably. 4 it is. Okay, all right. So we outline the full ring. We outline the individual sections. Good segments, 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom. That's good. And then I like the ampersand. I guess it's not an ampersand, just the at symbol. So we'll check those off. There's some stuff I'm not gonna, that I'll end up, I think, having to add to my extra list down below. Just because I don't think I have it on here yet. Where our combo scores are already getting a grade, right? Score shot. What do I call score shot at? Just right there, build scores. And I return combos, triple scores. And this is building the combos from the holes. Wrap, formatted, top pairs widget. Further up, assessment, yeah, best, worst. Combo score. So they are getting a score. Shot type, best. Worst half, first 3 combos. Breakdown holes map. So the build combos is triple key, triple map, exec. Shots is empty. Shot, single map. We're creating the combos, then we build scores. Combos add. And score shot, which I call up here. Combos add, combo score. So I have a score set in it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. We're gonna do another run now. That was a good start. Rechat. File is building a widget for my disc golf app. Need to make a very specific set of changes and leave everything else as is. Provide an updated file once complete. All right. This code is already producing a score for each combo. Graphic has a large circle with 5 segments in it, or 2 segments if not enough data is available. So I had the thought of extending some segments in the middle just a little bit, but do I actually want to throw stuff in the middle? I don't know if I really need to. General consistencies and shot type. Like I don't need to show this. I shouldn't really need to show this. I don't mind having the summary at the bottom, so I'm still going to leave that section. All right, I want you to inside of this a large hole inside of this circle. I want you to build another ring inside of the existing circle, go much thinner, maybe only half thickness of the existing ring that has 5 segments which line up with, I won't even throw a number, which has segments which line up with existing segments. Side of each of these segments, I want you to provide, I want you to display the score widget is already calculating for each combo. Should be colored on a gradient from green to red based on what the score is. Green and red being bad. Text in each new segment should be black. All right, for the main larger segments that were existing, I want you to update background colors. Container color for good shots should be white with black text. For bad segments should be black with white text. Okay. Colors for shot type combos and summary. Oh. Okay. I think that's a good start. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see how close it gets here. That was a lot. It'd be cool if it gets this first go. Not high hopes, but if it does this, we might call the video. Pretty decent progress today. Went through a lot of the extra changes. We got the explanations added, all the graphics, which was good. Making some good progress here on the composite wheel. Shot quality graphic. Cloud's making most of the progress, but I'm providing my artistic expertise. So I'm telling myself, at least. Excuse me. It does produce the code a little bit slower than ChatGPT would, but I think the code is so much better. And I am happy to wait for it. Good. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I had the note to give each segment a grade, but I am already doing that as a part of the original graphic, so that's not really a concern. It's so good. It's so good. All right, I do have questions on the scoring. Here, I guess first. Radial line to close the last segment. Where do I set the color? Draw radial, draw segment outline for outer ring. Black, gradient color. That's the inside. Ring paint to outer ring. White for good, black for bad. Is best. So that's how we do it. So we've got the gradient colors. Where else do I have black and white? Here. So here we can go is best. And we're going to do the colors.black, else colors.white. And I'm going to try and stick with my, we'll go at theme colors, off-white, soft. If I even have that in here. I may not. That's just being slow. Okay. Alright, and then where else? We got text span, which is good. Underscore that text is always black. Final radial line to close the last. Segment, because I really just need it to be the... This might be kind of tough. Yeah, this is not... I need it to give me the suggestion thing. Oh, I clicked off. Give me the import. Just style presets is what I need. Where is that? Yeah. Okay. This is going to be kind of a tricky one here. But it really is just the wheel painter that I need to update, so maybe this will make it easier. Maybe. That is good. And then where I changed it was here. Color's black. So that should turn those back to black. Okay, now let's highlight just the wheel painter. At least give Claude a little less code here. Let's go into chat one more time. Below file, paints a wheel. Don't want a very specific change made to it. The bottom two segments of this wheel, if there are 5, ignore if only 2, are the bad segments and not best. Have a black background and white text. Just in the outer of the 2 rings. Don't touch the inner ring. I want to make the line that splits the 2 black segments white, and also make the outer ring border at the black segments white. The outside border of the white segments should stay black as is. Can you do this? And we'll see what we get here. Where it touches the black segments. Yep, exactly. We are only doing the wheel painter. Yeah. All right. I bet it is pretty close with this. And then we can call it. We'll do a little quick check here. Cross off all the stuff that we did on this graphic. Let's give it a reset. And And we're going to be definitely not done with this graphic, but much closer. Okay. So it did do exactly what I asked it to do. I just don't know if I love the look of it. Innermost inner ring outline, outer outline paint. Draw in segments. So if I make this black, do I get the outer ring to be black as well? I do. I think I like that a little better. Even make it like red. Use a white final line. If I make this red, do I get a red guy here? No? Okay, that's not where I thought it was then. Text span outer ring label, inner, draw radial lines for inner ring. Draw a segment outline for outer ring. Is this the, is that the red? It is, and it's interesting. Okay. Give me the white. Yeah, so I guess like in principle it does make that slightly worse, but if I take this off, does that like test putting a red orange here just to test this theory? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so just get rid of the next, make it previous. This goes back to off-white soft. And so then it's gonna line up all nice for me. Beautiful. I like that. Gradient colors, we'll still tweak a little bit. So I'll have to change fonts too, and then I've got the rest of my list is going to be stuff down here. But this is a really good step. Gradient colors is interesting. Can I go whole colors? Birdie. And whole colors bogey. Oh, but it is backwards. Interesting. Because these are the good ones. this score. In this code, max and min score are already the highest and lowest scores passed for the combos. High scores are good, low scores are bad. This currently does the opposite. Update the below to fix this and make and convert the final scores to be displayed to a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, I can't really do that. I can't really convert it to a scale of 1 to 10. Because it's based on the values being passed in, not overall values. I might just need to update the explanation. That's fine, we'll give it the code. Step in the right direction at least. Do I get new code here? Modified wheel painter. Do we update the whole? I think we updated the whole thing. Okay. Even more than I asked for, but that probably works for me. We'll do a quick reset and then we can probably call it. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction at least. Oh no, it put the border back. Hold on. Outline, draw in segments. Come on, update. There we go. Okay. I think that's a good first step. All right, let's go through this real quick. Give each segment a grade. We did that. Display grades using background colors on a gradient. Done. Update colors for some. No, didn't do that. Overall background color of summary. No, I guess it was really just the grade and the ring. It did display it, but could still maybe improve the gradient a little bit. We'll go double bogey color. Make that a little bit darker. Yeah. Okay, still work to do, but I think that's a nice step in the right direction. So things left is to get this graphic together, maybe make some additional final notes on them, and then otherwise go through that list of random changes at the end. But we are close, so we're gonna wrap it up there. As always, thanks to anybody who finds this after the fact. If there's anything you want to see in C1x, let me know down below, and maybe we'll see you in the next one.